Everybody, I am Allegra Stein. I am a YouMap Master Trainer, and I wanted to tell you about these notes behind me. It looks a little bit chaotic because I was actually writing down a bunch of ideas live during an office hours that I held for some coaches who recently went through one of the certification programs that I run. Now, if you're interested in learning more about YouMap, there's a link down below for the program guide. But my hope is that by sharing this idea with you as a coach, as a helper of people, you find it useful even if you're not using YouMap as part of your toolbox. So a little bit of context. Again, held some office hours yesterday. A coach was in the room who is recently certified in YouMap. And her question was, how can I position this tool within my coaching practice? Originally YouMap was designed as a career pathing coaching assessment tool, but its applications are actually quite diverse and endless. You can bring YouMap into life coaching partnerships, into consulting, into branding, into copywriting, into health and weight loss. Whatever niche it is that you serve with your clients, there are YouMap coaches who are using it around grief. You can use it in relationships, tons and tons of different applications. And so this coach was really trying to get some ideas about, well, how do I position and bring YouMap to my audience? So the first question I asked her is, what do your clients come to you for? And I asked you the same. Like when you say to someone, why are you here? What is it that they tell you? And this moment is similar to a patient walking into a doctor's office and the doctor saying, all right, so tell me what's up, right? People oftentimes show up for coaching and help with a set of symptoms. So again, what are the symptoms that your clients tend to present? And so this coach that I was working with, she said, well, they're usually stressed. They're oftentimes experiencing burnout and overwhelm. Sometimes they're have some depression or anxiety. A lot of people will say that they're languishing or they're feeling stuck or like they can't take action. It is very important that you're using the language of your clients, by the way. Oftentimes we look at who we want to help through the filter of our own experiences and all of our coaching knowledge. And we sometimes tend to talk about the symptoms using coach speak and not client speak. So make sure when you're thinking about the symptoms of who it is that you help, you're using the words that they actually tell you when they first walk in and you say, what's up? What is it that they say? All right, great. So I said to this coach, I said, great. So these are the symptoms of the people that you help. And then I asked her, what is it that they want? What is it that they want to experience or feel? And in her case, she said, well, they want to feel better. And that actually is what they say. Her practice tends to grow by referral. And a lot of people will show up and say, I just want to feel better. Can you help me? So I said, awesome. Now, here's where YouMap really can come into play. YouMap is quite unique because it can be both the diagnosis and the solution. Now, if you haven't taken a look at the program guide, again, if you're not exactly sure what YouMap is, make sure that you download it. But YouMap essentially reveals 4 pillars of what makes people tick. It reveals their strengths, their values, their skills, and their personality-based interests. Each one of those pillars is really important to consider when working with your clients, helping them get unstuck and figure out what's going on, and also make decisions about how to move forward. If you're using just one of those pillars, it's an incomplete picture. Just like if you walk into a doctor's office, the doctor is going to run a number of different tests to try and diagnose why you're feeling this way, right? That's what this is. We're going to test A, and we're going to look at marker B, and then C and D, and we're going to see if we can figure out what's wrong here. YouMap does this with your clients. When they show up and present a set of symptoms, administer their YouMaps, take a look at their strengths, values, skills, and personality-based interests, go over those results with them, and I guarantee that at least one of those pillars is going to reveal an insight. They're going to have an aha moment about why they are feeling all of these symptoms. Maybe they're underutilizing their strengths and they've just felt very kind of dull and bored with their work. Maybe they're in relationships where there's a values misalignment or they're experiencing a boundary violation. Maybe they're not using as many of their energizing and motivating skills as they'd like, or they're using too many of their burnout skills, which is why they're burned out, right? Perhaps the work that they're doing or the lives that they've constructed around themselves don't reflect their personality-based interests, right? When you have these 4 markers and pillars, you can, with your clients, diagnose why they're experiencing their symptoms. And I don't know about you, but sometimes the diagnosis provides a ton of relief, right? Because we go from not knowing why we feel a certain way to knowing the reason. And that alone, I think, releases a lot of the suffering, a lot of the fear, and a lot of the confusion. Because from that point, you can then take those same 4 pillars, right? The strengths, values, skills, and interests, and you can use those to craft a path forward, right? The assessment, the YouMap, is not only a way to diagnose the problem, it becomes the compass to chart the path forward. Those same things that you've kind of revealed during your debrief, and you learn how to conduct a debrief as part of your YouMap training. Those issues and concerns and insights and realizations that surface during those initial conversations become the fertilizer for the projects that are going to move your clients forward. So it was just a really cool insight that we had. We were all kind of geeking out about it. We're like, oh my gosh, like which pillar is the problem? And that same pillar or pillars, depending on your clients, also becomes the path forward. It becomes the project. YouMap is both the diagnostic and the solution. It was really exciting. I just wanted to capture this. This is, again, I was like doing all of this while we were talking back and forth yesterday. So I just wanted to share it with you with hopes that it helps in some way. Again, if you're not using YouMap and you'd like to know more, download the program guide below and maybe I'll see you in an upcoming training. If you're a coach who's not using YouMap or you don't want it as part of your toolkit, I hope at least this example gives you some ways of thinking about how you're positioning and talking about your work. And I welcome all of your suggestions or questions or comments down below. Really nice to have you here and have a great day.